Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, May 24th, 2021. The fire potential impacts for the next few days are shown here with no significant impacts for today behind that cool front that moved through yesterday with light winds and higher RHs across much of the area. On Tuesday, however, winds pick up once again from the south as another trough moves in across the north for cooler temperatures and some showers and even some higher elevation snow there in Idaho and Wyoming. But the winds return and relative humidities are quite low once again across southern Nevada and southern and central Utah. By Wednesday, the winds will move to the south and east, and so really just highlighting the southeast corner of Utah for the continuing threat for high winds and low relative humidities. Precipitation and lightning from the past 24 hours is shown here. We did have a good cold front move through yesterday, bringing cooler temperatures and some scattered showers, especially across this band over southeast Idaho, northeast Nevada, and across northern and central Utah. And there was some lightning associated with these storms as well, especially over southeast Idaho and northern Utah. Great Basin fire activity is shown here. We've seen a little bit of a slowdown in the fire activity on the Cherrywood fire and have had a few little fires pop up in northern and eastern Utah. The observed precipitation for the past 14 days shows a pretty good amount of precipitation across northern Nevada. The percent of normal is above normal for the time of year. Across northern Nevada and then up into eastern Idaho and western Wyoming as well. Elsewhere across the basin, especially over Utah, portions of southern Nevada and western Idaho have been on the dry side for the past couple of weeks. Current ERCs are shown on this map. We're looking at far southern Nevada on the top and eastern Utah on the bottom. For far southern Utah, those ERCs have decreased somewhat compared to what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. This has helped as some cooler temperatures and slightly higher relative humidities have moved in temporarily. And across eastern Utah, those values have also decreased quite dramatically over the past couple of days with that some cooler fronts moving through. Live fuel moistures are shown here now for southern Nevada across the bottom and southwest Utah here on the top. Sagebrush live fuel moistures are trending right around normal for the time of year across south central Utah. And across southern Nevada, those values are quite a bit below normal. Probably won't be reaching that peak near 200 as we would normally expect in the spring. This morning's satellite imagery is showing that low moving off to the north that brought that cold front through the geographic area yesterday. So for today, we'll see some slightly warmer temperatures and sunnier conditions across especially Utah and Nevada, with maybe some lingering showers and cloudier skies up north. Again, this afternoon, seeing some return of drier conditions to the southern half of the Great Basin with lighter winds. And again, we can see generally the winds have lightened up quite a bit for this afternoon across the south, still seeing some stronger, gustier winds further north, closer to that low. Minimum relative humidities for this afternoon are still fairly low, especially over far southern Nevada and southern Utah with minimums in the single digits, quite a bit higher further north. On Tuesday, another low moves into the Pacific Northwest, which will increase winds once again, especially over the southern Great Basin. We are looking for those winds to pick up, especially over eastern Nevada and western and southwest Utah. On Tuesday, out ahead of that low, still low relative humidities across the south. We don't have any high risk issued for this event, but winds are somewhat marginal where the fuels are most critical, which is far southern Nevada and southern Utah. But definitely highlighting this today for any ongoing fires may experience some control problems. On Wednesday, the winds lighten up again across most of the area. We could still see some breezy winds over southeast Utah, but drier conditions return and warming temperatures as that low moves off to the north and east. Still no high risk triggers issued. On Wednesday, again, the winds really die down across the western Great Basin, but we'll still see some lingering gustier winds over eastern Utah and southeast Utah. Relative humidities are still quite low in these areas. So we'll watch for a slightly elevated potential for fire spread, but not issuing any high-risk triggers for this event at this time. 3-day precipitation totals are shown here. Really just looking for precip across Idaho for today, continuing today, and then into Tuesday into Wednesday morning as that next low moves into from the Pacific Northwest. By Thursday, continued dryness and warming across the southern Great Basin. And there's another low moving into the Pacific Northwest on Thursday. But the winds should still generally be light across the southern Great Basin on Thursday. On Friday, that low continues to track across the southern Canadian border, maybe bringing some increased winds up north, and slightly increased across the south perhaps, but continued generally warm and dry conditions across the south. And then more of the same into Saturday, generally dry conditions. And on Sunday, looking for a continuation of the generally warm and dry pattern over the Great Basin. 7-day totals, really just highlighting what we're expecting in the short term with precipitation moving across Idaho and western Wyoming today through Tuesday into Wednesday. Then the extended forecast, taking us into the first week of June, is calling for above normal temperatures across the western U.S. with below normal chances for precipitation. So we have been in this kind of progressive weather pattern for the past week or 10 days, and we're going to be flipping the switch back to a warmer and drier weather pattern. And this concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.